Care home and care sector courses are refused a lot. This has been seen every time Home Office asks for information and then they refuse it. One of the main reasons why they refuse it, I'll get into that today. First, I will share the guaranteed priority slot course allocations. So yes, this is a service that we provide. We get a priority slot on behalf of employers, sponsors, to get the cost allocations prioritized. Within 5 working days, Home Office decides on it. The standard processing is about 18 weeks, and with the priority, you get it within 5 working days. So we've got in this week also about 4 approvals. Today itself, we got two. First, I will show on the screen and I will talk about this topic. Firstly, today we got the first approval was at 21st of August today, Friday. You can see on the screen at 9:46 a.m. I will continue with my discussion. So the point that I want to address is it's a very important one, and most of the sponsors are missing it because I myself, we review documents of sponsors before they send it to the Home Office. Home Office has been asking additional documents, information for almost every type of cost allocation, almost 80 to 90% of cases, and especially with any risky sectors, care homes, number one, any retail sector, construction, etc., etc. Home Office has been very cautious. So one of the important things which they've added, I'm going to update my list of documents also. So on the website there is a list where of common documents that Home Office asks. Almost it has 90% of the documents. One new line that I have been seeing in all these document reviews. Yesterday also I reviewed a document list and documents of a care home. Last week a pharmacy. Some different sectors I have seen. Some hotel also. So this is a common pattern that I am seeing, that there is one question that says provide us the service user agreements of the work that you are getting in. So summarily what that means is, if you are asking for 4 cost allocations, let's say, then tell us why do you need them, why you cannot support it with your current workforce, and has the work increased? If the work has increased, show me the service agreement, highlight it on the service agreement. Let's say this would be the best situation that they want, saying okay, you will need let's say 40 hours per week and you need 4 of them, 4 4s are 16, 160 more hours of week. That would be the best position, but that is what they are trying to get at. I'll get into the details. First, I will share the second screenshot from today for the priority slot cost allocation. That is today, Friday, 21st of August at 12:19 p.m. Yeah, I'll keep that on the screen and I will continue with my discussion. So this is a common one, capacity working. This is what we are recommending to all the sponsors who are contacting us for these document reviews, additional information for costs, etc., etc. The first thing that we are telling them, I've also told sponsors which we had already sent the documentation to update this and send this to Home Office, which is the capacity working. So I'll just take an example to explain this, what Home Office is focusing on. We need to understand that Home Office caseworkers are not experts in every industry. For example, if it's a care home, they don't know how care sector operates. Even I don't know myself. When I look at documents, I ask many things to the person, to the AO, or whoever is discussing with me, the HR person. I ask them hundreds of questions. How do you get work? Can you show me something? Where, how can I calculate hours, etc.? Why did you write this over here? So in the same way, because I'm sitting across the person on a video call, I can ask these questions. But think of a person who is sitting in the case working team in Sheffield and they don't have any a personal contact, no video call, no phone call, nothing. They cannot ask any questions. Now you're trying to communicate with them only via documents, only via documents. I know everyone argues this. Yeah, when I'm trying to explain it even to the employers, they are like, oh, we don't have this in our industry, or we have this only, we can only show this contract. But think of it from that perspective's view, their perspective, saying, if I look at this contract from whatever the service user agreement, let's say you are a care home and you have a contract or whatever arrangement with the council, local authority, or any private user. If you show them the contract, would they be able to understand and make sense this contract leads to 40 hours of work or 160 hours of work? That is how you need to look at it. You need to put yourself out of your work environment. Let's say you're working in a care home or in a hotel industry or in a retail sector or anything there for that matter. I've reviewed physiotherapist documents, I've reviewed pharmacy, many industries rather. So in whichever industry you are, because you see the document, you can pinpoint and say, yes, this makes sense, this is what the maximum I can give. But think of it from the caseworker's perspective. Can they understand? They mostly cannot. Even I cannot. Many times I look at documents and I cannot understand how to calculate the hours. Hence, you have to make it simplified, maybe put the service user agreement. I'll share the third screenshot and then explain this point. So it's the third one that I'm going to share is from Thursday, yesterday, 20th of August, 12:48 p.m. That's the another approval we got yesterday. So these are all cost allocation approvals that we got. Continuing with my point. So you need to prepare. So this is what yesterday I reviewed and I had advised them before, and the care home did prepare some documents and I reviewed and I was okay with that. You use the service user agreements, try to get some hours from that. I know sometimes they may not say, if you don't have it, use the rota, use something, use a combination of documents, write in your description saying this is my capacity working. Look at this agreement. The agreement shows these hours, or it does not show the hours. However, I'm showing you this particular app or this screen from the council or something where we pick up work. There was some model, somebody explained me that. Even I try to understand this, where they go and they select saying, okay, we will take this work, something like that. And that is, they also had a new app or something from the council and the rota of the employee. So try to use any screenshots, any emails, any rotas, the service agreements, everything together. Try to reference them in your statement saying, this is how I have done my capacity working. For example, let's say you asked for your current capacity is you have 50 employees and they work 40 hours per week. I've just taken a random example. So you have total 2000 hours of delivery. 5 4 are 20, 2000 hours of delivery you are doing to your service users. And you are asking for 10 courses. Instead of 50, you want 60 employees. Just taking an example. So those 10 employees will also work 40 hours in my example and they will deliver 400 hours. So all those calculations, as I gave in my example, the agreement, the rota, the screenshot of the app or the system where you get the hours if you have it in your industry, you need to show that instead of 2000 hours, we will be having 2400 hours. That's one aspect of it. So make sure, try to quantify. This is just a random example I'm taking. So you need to tell them, okay, we have 50 employees, they work 40 hours. You have to put it in Excel sheet, Google sheet or spreadsheet saying employees, number of employees 50, hours work 40, 50 times 40, 2000 hours. You have to go to that grassroots level. The easier you make it to the caseworker, the easier it is for them to look at it and approve the cost allocation. That is very important. I know everyone is just throwing the agreements at them. Home office caseworkers cannot make sense of that. Even I cannot make sense. I try to see them, yeah, so even I cannot make sense of them. So that's why they say, if you want us to look at those agreements, if you're providing them, you should provide them ideally when they put that statement, usually for all the risky sectors they are asking. You should highlight saying wherever it is hours or anything that you can point out in the agreement where they can just browse through and say, okay, fine, this number I have to take at this number. And then you can reference in your letter or in that spreadsheet saying, look at document A, page number this, whatever. This is what I've got from there. Anything, rota, look at the total of the number of hours worked in this month, this much, this month, this much. Show them past performance of the last 6 months. That's one way to show it. In the best possible scenario, what is the best way you can explain them? So that's what you need to focus on. I'll put the fourth screenshot, which approval we got on Monday. So anyone wants to investigate, these are all real priority slot approvals from the Home Office marked to our emails. You will see visa-solutions.co.uk over there. And we've redacted the client portions from the emails. So Monday, 17th August, 10:40 a.m. This is the fourth one. So these are the four I'm going to share today. Continuing with my point. So if you are show them full capacity working. In my example, 2000 is my current capacity. I need 10 more allocations at 40 hours, 400. Where is this 400 coming from? That is one example. There may be some people may have left the organization. You can reduce them, explain it properly. Some people may be increasing the hours. I spoke to employers who had employees, 4 employees, they asked for allocations. They are working 20 hours. They will go from that to 37.5. So take that difference of 17.5, multiply it by whatever weekly number of people you want to hire, show them, justify them. That is one side of this is a very important thing. Employers are saying, okay, we have enough funds. They have whatever enough, much more than enough funds running through the accounts. That's perfectly fine. Employment is genuine, part-time working and all. But the main concern that Home Office has, mainly from the care work sector where a lot of abuse has happened, Home Office is not giving courses. Whether you ask 4 or you ask 2 or 23. So I have had cases where 23 and 25 also they've asked for because they have that much capacity and all. Because in the past, what has happened over the last 5 years, as you know, everything is in the news, a lot of abuse has happened. the employers had a capacity of 5, they've asked for 25, employed 25, 20 people don't have work. So this is a common scenario that happened where all the employers, they've overestimated. Many of the case workers are here, but they don't have work. Very, very common situation. It's in the news. It's politicians know this, ministers know this, Home Office knows this, lawyers knows this. Across the UK, almost everyone knows this. So now Home Office, now the pressure is on the case workers to see and decide, because the employer is ineligible. Let's say an employer who had capacity of 5, they got 25 people in the UK. So if they are failing on the calculation, now the caseworker is standing in that decision and they are trying to assess whether they really need 5 or should I give them 25. And to make their decision easy, make their life easy, to give you the approval that you are asking for, you need to explain them to the grassroots, to the end point, to the basic levels, hours, number of employees, capacity, past performance, anything and everything. Service user agreements, highlighting them, explaining them, giving them a spreadsheet of things, make it as easy for them as possible to spend as less time as you can, and try to think of them as they are not in your industry. That is very, very important. Employers think that Home Office understands everything. Home Office doesn't understand. They are not experts in a particular sector. Even I don't understand. I'm not a specific sector, specific expert. I learn this as I go. When it was a pharmacy I was trying to ask, I asked different questions saying, why this person? Why you need this one? Why you need 2 branches? When it was a physiotherapist, I asked them, okay, why did you not do this? Why did there was some reporting issue? I asked them. So he said, okay, we thought this happened, and then now we are replacing this one. So why are you replacing? What is your capacity? So they said, oh, we go to NHS and we get some through some app or website, we take work. So we cannot explain it clearly, but we can show something. So they showed it and they got it also. I think it was only 1 or 2 allocations. So in this way, every industry has different ways of working. You need to explain it as best as you can to the caseworkers. Capacity is one of the main reasons. Almost all care homes who are not getting cost allocation, they are not getting for capacity. That is a very, very important point, because capacity is the only point that was abused. Where the employer had 5 capacity, they got 25 employees. Either they didn't guess it or whatever were the reasons, but 20 people, they didn't have the capacity for the rest 20. They only had the capacity for 5. And hence, Home Office is stepping in the shoes of the employer and trying to assess. So you need to help the Home Office to try to calculate the real capacity is 5, 25, whatever that is. So this is what I wanted to address. Many cost allocations are getting rejected for this. So be careful on this. And it doesn't just apply to big employers. It also applies to smaller employers, whether you're asking for 2 costs also. It is coming, or even 1 cost. They are looking at capacity, etc. If you do want a priority slot, links will be in the description. You can fill up. It's a no win, no fee. We charge 299 once we get the slot. So you fill up the form. It's basic information, sponsor license, name, number, when you filed the cost allocation request, it was in year or annual, date you made the request. That's it. Fill up the form and we'll take it from there. There are also screenshot options. You can put a screenshot of the summary, license summary, and other pages. Examples are there in the link. Also, I will put the link of, I'll update that also with this new capacity side of things. We have detailed the list of documents and information that Home Office usually asks. I know everyone is downloading that every day. We see that many people are downloading that, employees, everyone, HR people. You are downloading those list of documents to work it out. That's what my recommendation is. When you make the cost allocation request, whether annual, in year, whatever that is, take that list. Home Office may not give you, but go to our website. The link I will put it there in the description wherever you are watching me, and download it, work on it, be ready for it. It will be almost 90% ready. When Home Office comes, you will just add 1 or 2 items or even nothing. You will have an exhaustive list also. I'll put 3 links down. One is the priority slot link if you do want us to apply on your behalf. Number 2 is for that list of documents that Home Office asks. And number 3 is for any consultations on advices. Yes, I do advise on all these matters, whether it's just a 10-minute consultation, a 30-minute, whether it's the migrant, the applicant, whether it's the employer, HR person, anyone and everyone, CEO. So I have to speak to everyone rather, and on any aspects of this. Also on the SMS, if things have to be done, anything, any advice on that. On the sponsor license, we represent companies also and individuals also on all types of visas, sponsor licenses, cost allocations, anything for that matter. So everything under UK immigration. So I'll put that consultation link also. If that interests you, you can book it. Thank you very much for watching.